In the days when judges ruled Israel, a time of great turmoil and uncertainty, there was a family that lived in Bethlehem. Famine gripped the land, and food became scarce. In this desperate time, a man named Elimelech, with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, decided to leave their homeland. They journeyed to the land of Moab, a foreign place, hoping to find sustenance and safety. As they settled in Moab, the family faced many challenges. Sadly, Elimelech passed away, leaving Naomi alone with her 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion. They married Moabite women, Ruth and Orpah, in an attempt to rebuild their lives. But tragedy struck again when both sons died, leaving Naomi heartbroken and bereft. Alone and grieving, Naomi heard that the Lord had blessed her homeland with food once more. She decided to return to Bethlehem, longing for the comfort of her people. As she prepared for her journey, she urged her daughters-in-law to remain in Moab, to return to their families and seek new lives. Orpah, though sorrowful, kissed Naomi goodbye and turned back. But Ruth clung to Naomi, refusing to leave her side. "Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God," she proclaimed with fierce loyalty. Naomi realized Ruth's determination and welcomed her on the journey home. As they arrived in Bethlehem, the townspeople were astonished. "Is this Naomi?" they whispered. Naomi, with a heavy heart, replied, "Don't call me Naomi. Call me Mara, for the Almighty has made my life very bitter." Her return was marked by sorrow, but Ruth remained steadfast, determined to support her mother-in-law. Ruth took the initiative to glean in the fields, a practice allowed for the poor and the widows. She worked tirelessly, gathering leftover grain to provide for Naomi and herself. It was in this field that she caught the eye of Boaz, a wealthy and kind man who owned the land. Boaz recognized Ruth's loyalty to Naomi and admired her commitment. "May the Lord repay you for what you have done," he said, offering her protection and favor. As Ruth continued to glean, Boaz ensured she was treated well, providing her with extra food and encouraging her to stay close to his workers. Ruth shared the news with Naomi, who was overjoyed. "This man is a relative of ours, a guardian redeemer," she explained, revealing the significance of Boaz's kindness. Naomi saw hope for their future, a chance for redemption. With that hope, Naomi devised a plan. She instructed Ruth to go to Boaz during the harvest celebration, to uncover his feet as he slept and seek his protection. Ruth followed Naomi's advice, her heart pounding with uncertainty but filled with courage. When Boaz awoke and saw Ruth at his feet, he was surprised. "Who are you?" he asked. Ruth replied, "I am your servant Ruth. Spread the corner of your cloak over me, since you are a guardian redeemer." Boaz was moved by her boldness and character. "The Lord bless you," he said. He admired Ruth's loyalty to Naomi and recognized the weight of her request. He promised to act, but first, he needed to consult a closer relative who had the first claim to redeem. The next day, Boaz went to the town gate, where he found the relative. He called him over and spoke of Naomi and Ruth. The relative was initially eager to help but withdrew when he realized that accepting the land would also mean taking Ruth as his wife. Boaz seized the opportunity and declared, "I will redeem her." With joy and gratitude, Ruth and Naomi witnessed Boaz's integrity and love. Soon after, Boaz and Ruth were married, and God blessed them with a child, a son named Obed. The whole town rejoiced at the arrival of this new life, for it symbolized hope and renewal. Naomi, once bitter and empty, held her grandson in her arms, and her heart was filled with joy. The women of Bethlehem surrounded her, proclaiming, "Praise be to the Lord, who has not left you without a guardian redeemer. He will renew your life and sustain you in your old age." Obed would eventually become the grandfather of King David, a lineage that would lead to the Savior of the world. In this beautiful story of Ruth, we see themes of loyalty, love, and God's providence. Ruth's commitment to Naomi teaches us the power of friendship and selflessness. Her actions demonstrate that true love often requires sacrifice. Naomi's journey from bitterness to joy shows that even in our darkest moments, hope can emerge. God's faithfulness shines through every twist and turn. He orchestrated events in a way that brought redemption not only to Naomi but also to Ruth, a Moabite woman, who became part of Israel's story. Their lives remind us that God often works through the smallest acts of kindness and loyalty. As we reflect on this story, we are reminded that God sees our struggles. He responds to our needs, even when we feel lost. Ruth's journey encourages us to cling to hope, to show loyalty to those we love, and to trust in God's plan for our lives. Through the story of Ruth, we learn that God can transform bitterness into joy, sorrow into hope, and loneliness into companionship. He is faithful, and His love reaches beyond borders and backgrounds. In the end, as we close this story, we are left with a beautiful reminder of God's unending faithfulness. He invites us to trust Him, to lean on Him, and to embrace the unexpected paths our lives may take. Just like Ruth and Naomi, we can be assured that God is at work, weaving our stories into His greater plan. And as we journey through life, may we find in each twist and turn a reason to hope and a reminder of God's loving presence.